Using the wrong one isn't just ineffective, it can actively damage what you're trying to protect. By now, you've seen how this small can manages to pull off big-time saveries or in drowned ignition components, rescuing rusted bolts, and defending delicate connectors from corrosion. But here's the truth no one tells you. As powerful as it is, this isn't a spray-it-anywhere solution to get its full value and avoid turning a cheap fix into an expensive disaster. You need to follow some simple but essential rules. Think of them as the difference between a miracle tool and a maintenance nightmare. Rule #1. Never spray it on parts that depend on friction. If there's one rule that could save you a hospital trip, it's this: do not apply this product to any component that relies on friction. This includes brake rotors, pads, drums, and clutches. Why? Because this spray isn't just a water displacer, a lubricant. Friction-based systems need grip. When you add lubrication where grip is critical, you're literally undoing the core function of those parts. It's like trying to ice skate on sandpaper. Doesn't work. That means no quieting noisy brakes with this spray, no smoothing clutch plates, and no using it as a cheap fix for surface rust on rotors. Dedicated cleaners exist for these areas. Use them. They don't compromise performance, and they won't leave behind residues that permanently contaminate those parts. Rule #2. Avoid sensors and heat-sensitive components. Modern cars are crammed with sensors: oxygen sensors, mass airflow sensors, wheel speed sensors, and while this spray seems harmless, it can throw them completely off. Its oily residue traps dust, alters readings, and can even cause overheating in high-temperature environments. If you must clean these parts, reach for the specialist contact cleaner version or a sensor-safe product. This keeps sensitive systems accurate and prevents costly misfires or warning lights that land you at a shop paying diagnostic fees for mystery issues. Rule #3. Pick the right version for the job. This isn't one formula in one can anymore. The original all-purpose spray works for general fixes, but the brand has expanded into specialized options for a reason. Here's a quick breakdown. Use the original for moisture displacement, basic rust prevention, and general-purpose lubrication. Use the contact cleaner for electrical components and circuit boards. Weather stripping, seals and gaskets. It protects without petroleum breakdown. Use the penetrant for stuck fasteners, corroded threads, and deep-seated rust. Use the brake and parts cleaner for cleaning braking components without leaving residue. A $6 can used in the right place can prevent thousands in repairs. Used in the wrong place, it can create those same repairs overnight. Rule #4. Use it as maintenance. Not a miracle. Here's where a lot of DIYers get it wrong. They treat this can like a fix-everything solution. It's not. It's a maintenance tool. It keeps moisture away from connectors, slows down rust on exposed metal. It softens sap before it scars paint. But it doesn't repair deep scratches, replace proper lubrication, or undo years of neglect. Think of it as a preventative measure that extends the life of components, not a substitute for real repairs. Rule #5. Always clean up after application. No matter where you spray eton, paint, rubber, or connectors, always follow up with a clean wipe. Leaving excess oil attracts dirt and grime, turning a protective layer into a sticky mess. In areas like engine bays, this buildup can become a fire risk over time. A thin coat does the job. Over-application doesn't add protection. It just adds problems. Real-world wins when $6 beats a $1,000 bill to really appreciate how powerful this product can be when used right. Let's break down a few real-world examples. 1. The $150 diagnostic saved by a quick leak testa. Drivers struggling with poor, idle, and weak acceleration nearly booked an expensive shop visit. Instead, they sprayed around the intake manifold and vacuum hoses while the engine ran. A sudden rev at one hose revealed a leak. A $6 can identified the issue that would have cost $150. Just to diagnose before even touching repairs. Point 2. The $1,000 wiring harness that never needed. Replacing an owner dealing with occasional electrical misfires learned about using the product. On connectors. After cleaning and applying a protective coat, the corrosion stopped spreading. They avoided replacing an entire wiring harness, a job quoted at over $1,030. The $2,000 interior saved by weatherproofing a winter driver. Who regularly sprayed silicone on their door seals avoided the nightmare of frozen shut doors and water. Leaks. Others in their climate paid thousands for water-damaged carpets. MOLD remediation and rewiring. 4. The $500 paint job dodged by softening sap. Someone who regularly parked under sap-heavy trees used the solvent properties of this spray to soften and remove blobs before they etched the paint. Friends who didn't bother. They ended up paying $500 for buffing and paint correction. This is the pattern, used smartly. That little can becomes the difference between small upkeep and catastrophic bills, where it should never go. Let's wrap this up with a list: clear, simple, and non-negotiable. Never spray it on brakes, pads, rotors, calipers, anything that relies on friction. Clutch components, same reasoning as brakes. They require grip, oxygen sensors, residue alters, readings, hot engine internals. It's not motor oil and can cause severe damage. Tires, it can change traction levels and make them dangerously slippery. Remember, what protects in one place can destroy in another. The bottom line: this can of spray has been quietly saving vehicles and wallets for decades. Use it right, and it keeps moisture out of connectors, softens stubborn grime, prevents rust, and helps you avoid the kind of surprise repair bills that leave you speechless. Use it wrong, and you're on the fast track to brake failure, ruined paint, or a seized engine. Here's the takeaway: stick to the right formula for each task. Keep it off friction surfaces and sensors. Use it for maintenance, not as a miracle. Repair. Get those rules right. And that little $6 can won't just earn its keep, it'll quietly save you from thousands in unnecessary repairs. That's everything you need to know. Smart use turns this product into one of the cheapest, most effective maintenance tools in your garage. Misuse? Well, that's how people turn a $6 shortcut into a $3,000 disaster. Afterward, this removes any oily residue and restores the surface. Finish with a wax coat to seal and protect. By spending 5 minutes and using a product you already have at home, you avoid a $500 polishing session or worse, a $2,000 repaint. 5. Reviving faded license plates in minutes. Your license plate sits at the front line of road abuse. Constant sun exposure, dirt, salt, and debris. Over time, they dull and discolor. And in some states, unreadable plates can even earn you a ticket. Luckily, restoring them doesn't require replacing them. A simple spritz of this product lifts built-up grime, road tar, and surface rust from the edges, giving plates a cleaner, sharper look almost instantly. For the best results, remove the plate entirely. Wash it with dish soap and water. Then apply a light spray and wipe with a microfiber cloth. It won't bring back lost reflectivity. That's a job for a full replacement, but for a few dollars. You'll make it look significantly better while avoiding the $50 fine you didn't see coming. 6. Freeing rusted bolts. Without snapping them, few things in the automotive world carry the same understated power as a small blue Endilo, can you? Can grab off any store shelf for a few dollars. Yet this unassuming product can quietly sidestep repair bills that spiral into the thousands if you know how to use it correctly. That's the catch. This multi-purpose formula saves engines, stops rust, fights corrosion, and restores function in places you wouldn't expect. But it also causes serious trouble when applied in the wrong spot. and unfortunately, some of the most frequent hacks you see online or hear in garages do far more harm than good. That's why this breakdown matters. We're unpacking the most effective ways to use it, the surprising mistakes that turn a fix into a catastrophe, and the versions of this formula that work best for different tasks. 1. Tracking down hidden vacuum. Leaks say strange sputter when idling a random check engine light. Or poor fuel economy. These problems often trigger hours of diagnostics and hundreds in labor fees. But what if the cause isn't mysterious at all? What if it's a simple vacuum leak? This tiny failure can wreak havoc on your air-fuel balance, wreck fuel mileage, and strain internal components until bigger, costlier issues pile up. This is where this miracle product quietly shines. With your engine running, a gentle mist over. Vacuum hoses can instantly reveal leaks. A noticeable change in idle speed pinpoints where air is escaping. Essentially, it temporarily seals the gap, making it glaringly obvious. No need for expensive scanners, fancy diagnostic tools, or hours of guesswork, just a sharp ear and a $6 can. You're not only avoiding a $150 shop fee for basic troubleshooting, but also preventing the type of unbalanced engine where that can rack up thousands in damage. An important safety note: unlike carburetor cleaners, this product won't turn your engine bay into a fire hazard. And it's generally safe on sensitive components like plastic fittings and sensors. Veteran mechanics have leaned on this technique for decades, and for good reason. It's fast, accurate, and cheap. 2. Saving electrical systems before they fail. If there's one repair that blindsides car owners, it's electrical work. One day, everything runs smoothly. The next day, you're facing a $700 estimate for an ECU connector that corroded silently under your hood. The root cause: often moisture creeping into contacts, slowly eating away at delicate metal surfaces until they fail altogether. Here's where understanding the original purpose of this formula makes all the difference. Its name literally stands for Water Displacement 40th Formula. It was designed to push out moisture and form a protective barrier, which makes it a lifesaver for electrical connectors. A light coat on powered-off terminals creates an invisible shield against rust and corrosion, extending the life of pricey wiring components. For everyday connectors, the regular product works fine. But if you're working with sensitive electronics or want a residue-free solution, there's an even better option: the Specialist Contact Cleaner variant. This evaporates quickly, leaves zero film behind, and gives long-term protection without gunk buildup. A $6 spray here can save you from replacing entire wiring harnesses, job that often costs over $1,030. Protecting rubber. Weather stripping before it cracks. Ever yanked a frozen car door open in winter and felt that tearing sound? That's not just an inconvenience, it's your rubber seals breaking down. Damaged weather stripping leads to leaks, soaked carpets, moldy interiors, shorted out wiring, and sometimes water damage repair bills reaching $2,000. Fortunately, the right variant of this product was practically made for this: the Specialist. Silicone spray version penetrates and coats rubber seals, keeping them flexible, water-resistant, and durable even in harsh weather. This is where using the correct formula really matters. The classic version contains petroleum that can degrade rubber over time, so skipping to the silicone-based version avoids that problem entirely. A quick spray on clean seals every few months maintains their elasticity. Wiping away excess ensures just a thin layer remains to prevent sticking and freezing. It's a simple maintenance task that keeps your doors sealing tightly and your interior bone dry. 4. Erasing tree sap without destroying paint. If you've ever parked under a tree in spring or summer, you've seen it. That stubborn, sticky blob that refuses to budge no matter how hard you scrub. That's tree sap, and it's not just unsightly. Left unchecked, it chemically eats through your car's protective clear coat, dulling the finish and leaving a permanent scar. Here's where this product comes to the rescue. Its solvent base softens hardened sap, allowing it to lift away without damaging paint. The trick is patience. Spray directly onto the sap, let it sit for a couple of minutes, and gently wipe with a microfiber cloth. No scraping, no aggressive scrubbing, and no trips to a body shop for refinishing. But there's an essential follow-up. Always wash the treated area with soap and water. Every dye-er knows the dread of a seized bolt. You crank down with a wrench, hear that ominous creak, and suddenly snap. Now you're staring at a sheared fastener stuck deep in its threads, which often means drilling it out or replacing the entire part. That's why the specialist penetrant version of this product is a game changer. It's engineered to seep deep into threads using capillary action, breaking up rust from the inside. In controlled tests, bolts that needed over 500 foot-pounds of torque to loosen dropped to just 238 after application. That's the difference between breaking parts and fixing them. For best results, clean the area first, spray liberally, and let it work for a few minutes. Unlike some old-school methods, this formula doesn't require long soak times and works faster than heat or brute force. It's an inexpensive way to save your tools. Advantage your patience. 7. Polishing chrome without the hassle-few surfaces. Look as stunning as a freshly polished chrome bumper or wheel. But keeping them gleaming often feels like a weekend project on its own. This is where this multi-purpose spray surprises people. Its blend of lubricating oils and solvents cuts through road grime, water spots, and even stubborn tar on chrome. Parts: spray a light coat, wipe with a microfiber cloth, and watch dull metal transform into a reflective shine. For tougher spots, pair it with fine-grade steel wool for a mirror-like finish. Despite online rumors, this product doesn't contain acids, so it's safe for chrome. In fact, it leaves behind a thin protective layer that repels moisture and slows down rust.